Okay, today's video we're going to talk about the two different styles of kettlebells. On the left hand side we've got a competition grade kettlebell, and on the right hand side that's a regular. The main differences between the two is, first off, is the handle. So you'll see with the competition grade the handle is a lot more square. It's also a little bit smaller as well. So these are really used for more one-handed exercise. It's hard to get two hands on the horns when you're doing two-handed exercise with a competition grade kettlebell. So next off, with a regular style, you'll see here the handle is much bigger, so it's much more suited for two-handed exercise. And also, you know, when you're passing the kettlebell from hand to hand, you've got much more grip to grab onto that handle because it's so much more wider. Also as well, the size of the bell is different. So with an 8 or a 16 or a 12, doesn't matter which size. With the competition grade, they never change. So as you're going up in weight, the kettlebell will always feel the same. As you're getting stronger, that's better because the weight distribution always stays the same. Whereas with a regular style kettlebell, as the weight goes up, 8, 12, 16, 20, the size of the bell changes very differently. So it feels very different. Next off is the actual handle. So you want to find a kettlebell with a handle that's comfortable. If the handle's too thick, okay, so that's really going to fatigue the wrist flexors. And if you're doing exercises like the snatch, you're really going to burn up your grip because the handle's too thick. So when you grab onto the kettlebell, you just want to go into that hook grip, and it should feel really comfortable, thumb and forefinger, and just make sure it's not too thick. But also on the same token, you just want to make sure the handle's not too thin, because when you're doing those bottom up exercises, you just want to make sure you've got plenty of purchase on that grip so you can get hold of the kettlebell and it doesn't flip side to side. So that's the next thing. Also be aware that with these competition grade kettlebells, they're usually made out of cast steel, whereas the regular are cast iron. With these cast iron kettlebells, usually they come paint coated, and what will happen is with these handles, the paint will actually start stripping off after you've been using them for a while. So you just want to make sure that you sand down these as soon as you get your kettlebells. Just sand that paint off. It takes about 15-20 minutes. So you just want to take that sort of thin layer of paint right off that handle. And if you when you first get it as well, just run your hands over, make sure there's no jagged edges in there, because that's really going to tear up your grip and your hands when you use it. Next off is the size of the window. So you want to make sure that the window is not too small, otherwise it's going to sit on the back of the wrist. With this one here, this is a little bit too small for me, and that sits on the back of the wrist and it's quite uncomfortable. So just want to make sure, as you can see, my fist doesn't go through, whereas this one here, my fist goes through and that sits nice and comfortably on the back of my wrist. Okay, just there, just underneath the wrist. But you don't want the handle to be too big, because then it's going to sit down too far on the forearm and that's going to be really uncomfortable as well. And then lastly, you just want to make sure that your kettlebells are either cast steel or cast iron. The vinyl ones and the rubber ones don't tend to last. These ones I've had for years and they just last forever, so they're just a little bit better made. So that's my tips for buying your first kettlebells, and I'll see you in the next video.